should number the paragraphs, and there should be 10 paragraphs total. And then you guys are gonna follow along while I read the passage. So, passage title is "What's for Dinner?" Every time animals, including humans, run, jump, stomp, or even grow, they use energy. All living things must have energy to stay alive. Where do living things get their energy? Some living things create the energy they use. They are called producers. Plants are producers. They make their own food using sunlight, air, minerals from soil, and water. So what do producers do again? Okay.
They make their own food using sunlight, air, minerals from soil and water.
Some living things cannot make their own food. They have to get their energy by eating plants or animals, or plants and animals. They are consumers. Humans are consumers. And then, what are consumers again? Yeah, so what are consumers? Get that on there. I'm going to read that part again. Some living things cannot make their own food. They have to get their energy by eating plants or animals, or plants and animals. They are consumers. Humans are consumers. So what are consumers?
Something that eats plants and animals.
Yeah, or plants or animals, yeah. Okay, so there are three kinds of consumers. Herbivores eat only plants. Cows are herbivores. Animals that eat only plants are known as carnivores. Wolves are carnivores. Omnivores are animals that eat animals and plants. Humans are omnivores. So what were the three consumers that were just listed? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Omnivores, carnivores, herbivores, producers, and consumers. Oh my. Who eats what? Humans eat herbivores. Human eats herbivores. Who wants a hamburger? Carnivores. How about a tuna sandwich? And omnivores. Would you like some ham on your sandwich? Humans also eat producers. Do you want lettuce and tomato on your sandwich? So how do scientists make sense of all this? A food chain is one way of organizing all this information. A food chain shows how each living thing gets its energy, which is food. The food chain also shows how the energy is passed from one living thing to another. Food chains begin with producers, which is plant life, and end with consumers, which is animal life. A simple food chain could start with grass. Grass makes its own food. A deer eats the grass. A wolf eats the deer. The chain does not end here though. Bacteria and fungi eat living things that have died. Bacteria and fungi are decomposers. So when the wolf dies, its body decays from the action of the bacteria and puts nutrients and minerals back into the soil. Plants use the nutrients and minerals to make their own food again. Thus, the food chain goes on and on. So, what makes a food chain? From the start to the end. Joshua.
Or living stuff. Like grass, the sun, the grass, and then like the grasshopper. And then what is it?
First is the sun that gives the plant the energy, then the plant gives energy to like a cow, then the wolf eats a cow, and then a lion eats a wolf.
Yeah. Good example of food chain. Okay. So food chains can be very long. Some are very complicated. Many food chains overlap each other and become food webs. We're not always sure what happens when a food chain is broken. Each part of a food chain is connected to other parts, just like the links in an iron chain. If even one link is taken out of the food chain, the whole chain might fall apart. Each kind of plant or animal is important in a food chain or a food web. Being careless with our environment might have a terrible unintended outcome. Okay, so now we can look at the questions. So question number 1. The writer's main reason for writing the story was to A, convince the reader that large animals are more important than small animals. B, entertain the reader with funny animal stories. C, frighten the reader. Or D, explain food chains. Joseph? D? Do we all agree with D?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Number 2. Each part of a food chain is connected to other parts just like the links in an iron chain. This is an example of what kind of figurative language. You guys kind of learned this through your mountain language. Yeah, and in third grade. Diego? Okay. Do you think it's an idiom? Yeah? Simile? Do you agree with the simile? Okay, so 3. Give an example of a 3-step food chain. Victor?
Use of food chain.
Yeah.
Rat, antelope, tiger,
Sure.
lion.
Okay, that's
Well, that grass, antelope, the tiger.
yeah. Maybe grass. Hmm? Okay, yeah. So sun to grass, grass to
Antelope.
antelope, and then antelope to tiger. Okay, so number 4. What are producers? Luca?
Animals that make the food.
Yeah. Producers are animals, are living things. Living things that make their own food. Okay, so herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores are all Sharon. That's correct. They are consumers. Okay, so what are humans considered? Stephanie?
Omnivores?
Yep. Humans are omnivores.
Isn't it like a multiple choice? How do you know like there's multiple answers?
Well, in the passage, it does say it does say what humans are. Yeah, right here in paragraph 4, it says humans are omnivores.
But that's a good point, Luke. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying, right? Because if they're vegetarian or what have you, but it just means like the reading comp. Main idea, yeah. Good thinking.
Okay, overlapping food chains are called Diego. Correct? It's food web. And last one, if a plant becomes extinct, we can be sure that the rest of the food chain will survive. True or false? Kathy? B? False? Okay. And then take out your column notes, the crash course. The crash course. The fabulous food chain. look for a thumbs up from everyone. Okay, so according to the video, how does energy even get into our food to begin with? Aria?
Energy flows between living things.
Yep. We say that it flows from one living thing to another. Okay, number 2, explain why humans are at the top of the food chain. Who's it? Yeah. Okay, but so why are we at the top? Pardon? That's what he just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
The same main idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We say that nothing tries to eat us. Okay. So according to the video, what is a food chain? Anyone from table 5? Joseph?
So, like something that eats, like an animal that eats something, and then another animal eats that animal, and just somewhere else.
Karen?
And model shows how energy flows between living things.
Yep. So it is a model that shows how energy flows between living things. Okay, according to the video, what is an ecosystem? Anyone from table 5 want to answer? Dot?
A system of a living thing and their environment.
Yep, that is correct. So it is a system of living things and their environment. Okay, so infer which of the following are examples of a typical kid's ecosystem, and then circle all that applies. We'll do one answer at a time. So there.
I put sun to cat to butterfly to lizard to snake and fly.
Okay, yeah, that was correct though. So from so sun to plant, plant to butterfly, butterfly to lizard, lizard to snake, and then snake to owl. And then moving on to the next one. Yeah. So Mr. DeMaio. Okay. So according to the elephant in the video, what are 2 ways to identify a herbivore? Mariah.
Watch what animal eats or look at their teeth.
Yep. You say they watch what they eat or look at their teeth. According to the tiger in the video, what do carnivores use their sharp teeth for? Corey? Friend, what was your answer again? Yeah. Kathy. Number two.
To bite into animals' flesh and chew it.
Yep. So same thing what Chris said. They use their teeth to bite into other animals' flesh. Okay. Number three, which type of animal skull was used to illustrate an omnivore? Ella? That's right. It is a chimpanzee. Okay. So now, how was this animal's teeth different from the herbivore and the carnivore? Angel. Sorry, which one has sharp? Which one has sharp teeth? Okay. Say because they okay. Okay, yeah. For the next one. Yeah. Is that another one? Okay, so I'll just split it up into three. So what do carnivores have? Or what do carnivores do? Right. Okay, so at the end. See that baby. Okay, then what are herbivores? Is it? Yeah. Yeah, what are herbivores? But what do they do? Yeah, so herbivores only eat plants. And carnivores are animals that eat only animals. So like I said in your video and in the passage that we just read, that humans are omnivores, so we are also omnivores.